Holy shit. Magnificent.
We're live, everybody. I think we're live. How come I can't hear you? Are you fucking with me?
I'm muted. I was muted.
Oh, you suck.
You told me silence was golden. Did I win a prize?
You won a prize for giving me a heart attack already. Thanks. Here we go. So real briefly, can everybody hear us? That would be nice to know.
Give us X1s if you can hear me. Yeah. X2 if you could hear Gizzard Stew.
Beauty. All right. Hopefully the sound check goes okay so we can get on with the shoe.
Roro says, you muted, ho.
You muted. Oh, yeah, there's a delay.
There was me being muted. So I guess I'm the hoe.
I'm going to start with shout-outs. Jerry Lawrence is here.
They said I have an echo. I do have an echo.
Big Dockery Doc is here. Big Dockery.
How about now? Do I have an echo?
Are you echoing? I don't know.
They said I had an echo. Who was it?
I don't know. I should probably put my headphones on too. What the hell? To drag these things out of the closet. All right, let's try this. Maybe the echo will go away. Maybe. Oh, how's that? Is that better?
Do I still have an echo?
Now that I'm wearing headphones, everything should be glorious.
I am not in a sewer pipe.
Echoes in a sewer pipe.
Fucking magnificent.
I had my training with Shredder.
Audio Gremlins.
Adam said that fixed it. There we go.
Oh, headphones fixed it.
Shit weak and echoey.
Headphones fixed it. All right. Oh, look. I see you. It's Vaping Swag.
There's a swag out there.
Vape with me is here.
I know.
That's Rochelle. Everybody.
Watch out. Watch out, she'll grab your butt.
She says my shit is weak. Have you been looking in the toilet?
There can't be any corn in it. He's keto.
Fresh says that's the sound of your giner, Lifa.
Really? Really?
Oh, Giner.
Fucking magnificent.
That's right, Wombatsky.
All right, who's here?
Polarshek. Polarshek's here.
Yeah.
Who else do I see? Let's see. I see Bill Fogger. Is that his real name?
Bill Fogger. I hope so.
That's a pretty good name. Mr. Fogger to the white paging telephone. Mr. Fogger. Who else? Polarshek is here.
Polarshek.
Train Sonic is here.
Train.
Saturation Station, I see you. I also see Mad Max Vapes. Who else? Daytime Frank. Daytime Frank is here.
Thunderdome stuff?
Who else do I see? I see Ashley Brown. And who else? Sub Vapes. I wonder if that's his real name.
I see Bill Fogger again. I like saying that. Bill Fogger.
Bill Fogger. That's a perfect name for somebody watching The Fog Life.
Oh, shit.
Don't you think? It's the coup de grace. Alright. Who'd I miss? Who else did I miss?
I hope you didn't miss anyone, man.
Matt Williams. Matt Williams.
We got people out there that are watching.
Oh, look! Vaporos Vape! Vaporos Vape! Vaporos Vape, the $2 king. Hell yeah. Import Man is here. I see Import Man. I see you. Yep. There's lots of people here.
Import Man sounds like a superhero.
So, it's Friday.
It is.
It's Friday the 27th. Is that good?
Drinking hard stuff.
Hey, was it nice and cool in Iowa the past 2 days?
Yeah, we got the windows open.
Nice.
The only bad thing is I don't have any windows down in the basement.
Yeah.
So somehow the warmer air is stuck in the basement. I don't know why.
I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know, when you get weather like this in the tail end of July, early August, it's like, oh boy, what's gonna happen in a few days here? It's gonna be brutal, I bet. Got the state fair coming up. It's usually nasty hot.
We got the county fair coming up this coming weekend.
Are you going to it?
No, I won't be in town.
Are you gonna ride the Tilt-A-Hurl?
No.
Where are you going if you're gonna be out of town? Are you coming to Minnesota?
I'm going to California.
Going to California?
Going to Cali.
Wow, are you going to see the ocean?
I don't like the ocean. I don't trust it.
Because?
Fish fucking it.
Yeah, well. Fish fucking almost...
That's why I don't like lakes or ponds either.
There goes my monetization on this video.
Everybody better hit that super chat so he gets his monetization.
Yeah, give me $1, please. Show me some love. So what are you going to California for, buddy?
There is a vape convention out there called ECC.
Oh, you're going to that, huh?
Yeah. It'll be a good time. Bogan's going to be there. He's going to have Bogan brews there, so I'll get to sample the Bogan brews.
Nice.
And, yeah, it'll be just a nice little getaway.
And stuff her up your butt.
I know. I want to have that on my phone.
Yeah.
I walk up to him and be able to play it, but, you know, a vape convention, you can't hear anything on your phone anyways.
True. So who else is going?
Who else is going?
Yeah.
Well, Big Duck's going out there. I heard Daniel is going out there. We got who else? Alfredo Ponce lives out there.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll kind of check in with him. The whole Ruby crew is gonna be out. There you go. You got $2.
Bingo! I bet
It's
it was
now monetized.
I bet it was Vaporos Vape. What do you want to bet?
It was.
Of course. Thank you.
$2.
Thank you. All right. I was managed to get $2 out of him anyway. That's awesome.
$2. You get 50 of those $2 from Vaporos Vape.
Yeah, then I can actually cash out. My goal is $100 a year.
Yeah, work has been really hectic the last I'd say the last 6 months. I've been complaining about the Spain project and everything like that, so things worked out that I could get off for it. So hop a flight and hang out, see some peeps. Maybe I can get in touch with Grim Green or talk Twisted Messes into doing some silent jumping. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. Anybody else going that we know?
That we know, Nick Devine's going.
Are you shacking up with him then?
Yeah. A bunch of us are all getting together at the hotel, so it's cheap.
Cool. So what prompted this? Have you been planning this for a bit, or just decided?
It's just it was a maybe for a long time.
Okay.
And then things came through, and I'm like, yeah, I need a vacation. The only downside of it is the same weekend as Irish Fest here.
Okay.
But I go to Irish Fest every year. This came up. If it was, I don't know, any other time, it would be bad because it's before the kids go back to school, before the wife starts school again.
So when is this exactly? Next week or?
Next Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh wow, it's coming right up then.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like I need to take I need to take applications for COSTARD for FOGLyFE next Friday.
I say as much as Vape Ross Vape has donated to your channel, you should come on.
He could be the co-pilot.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'd be up for that. All right. Well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it'll be different. I've never been out to California, so that's another reason. Put another state on the map that I've visited.
Yeah. What city is it in?
Ontario.
Oh, again, yeah. Is that where they have it every year?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's been a whole year. I guess I do remember that from last year. And isn't that like it's huge? It's bigly.
It's supposed to have like all the big names out there. I know I've seen on Instagram like Suck My Mod's going to be there. Like I said, that whole Ruby crew, the
wow,
Grim Green, Dwayne, Messes, M Turk,
cool
stuff like that. So it should be kind of fun with some.
Well, hopefully you'll get to meet some of those peeps. I mean,
it'll be nice.
I've never met Ruby. I've never met. I've met Twisted Messes before. I've met Grim Green, but I've never met Matt.
Yeah, Matt seems down home.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. It'll probably be a lot of e-liquid, but you go to those things for the environment a little bit, get away from home a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, good for you. That's good. What day do you leave? Wednesday?
Oh, these on Thursday morning. So I'll be able to do Project Vlog, be able to do TJ show. Last couple times, even like last week, had to bail on the show for a quick urgency 1 phone call to jump on what they call the SWAT line. We resolved the issue, and then it was Fresh was wrapping up stuff, so I didn't hop back on.
So Fresh isn't going to drive down there though on his bike.
That would be fun.
I think he's saving all his money for Scotland.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Oh, Big Doc's gonna get Leafa drunk.
Hell yeah. Well, that sounds awesome.
Fresh wants footage of that. Yeah.
So, do you have any plans for what you're going to do? Or just your typical fly by the seat of your pants and see what happens?
Get there. Well, Doc is kind of a culinary person, so he's kind of promised to make a meal or 2 or 3. So
are you getting like a B&B or something?
Well, the room that we got has
a kitchen.
Kitchen.
Oh, all right.
So, and Doc found a online app for a grocery store near there, so he's already got his grocery list ready that
All
he can
right.
hit order, and they'll deliver it right to the hotel. So should be fun.
I wonder what he's gonna make.
Well, I think one of the things was a barbecue. One was beef stroganoff. And he told me he's making all these recipes keto, so I don't even have to jump off of keto.
Wow, cool.
He's going to make a keto beef stroganoff. That'll be fun to see.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
And I think from our hotel, there's a In-N-Out like a block and a half away. So definitely got to try In-N-Out burger.
Yeah, I guess that's a famous spot out there.
Yeah.
So where is Ontario? I don't even know where it's located in California. Middle.
It's by LA. It's
Okay.
it's on the north side. I was hoping I was going to be able to meet up with my buddy that works at Intel, the one that made built my computer, but he's 6 hours away.
Oh, I see.
But
California is a big place. You know, you think,
yeah.
Oh, I'm coming to California, come see me, and they could be like 1,000 miles away from you.
Yeah.
So.
Big Doc says euros as well. Euros.
Shane wants to know if you're bringing the pink one with you.
Oh yeah, pink pussy goes with me everywhere.
All right. Well, cool. I wasn't even aware that you were doing that next week. Thanks for letting me know.
Well, I gave you a week notice.
Awesome.
That's better than 2 days.
It's true. It's better than what you usually give me.
Call you up from California. Hey, Giz, I'm in California.
It's Thursday. I just want to let you know I'm not going to be there tomorrow. Thanks, bro.
You got a whole week to get Big Blue on.
Hell yeah. Life is gone. We got to get a huge guest. Huge, bigly. It's tradition.
Big Blue.
So is Grim Green going to be at this one too, I would imagine?
Yeah. They're... So he probably won't be able to come on.
No. It's going to be a bad week for everybody's going to be at that thing.
Well, you'll still have people here watching.
Whatever happens, I'm sure it's going to be fucking magnificent.
Fucking magnificent.
That's right.
We do have a little bit of a delay.
That's
Pressure
cool.
sands are just northeast of LA.
I just ignore it. We'll just go with the flow. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you're getting the opportunity to go do that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It'll be good.
Hell yeah.
And then from that point, it's pinching pennies until October when I go to Florida.
I don't think I could go near ocean without at least going to the ocean though. Myself.
There you
go. You know, gotta go dip your toe at least. Here, sharky, shark.
Sharks. It is Shark Week.
Ooh, good timing. Are you scared of sharks?
No.
No?
Because I don't go in that water.
There you go.
If it's a land shark or sharknado, maybe.
I'm more scared of sea snakes.
Sea snakes, yeah. Water moccasins around here.
Yeah, or just sea snakes.
Orcas. I would be afraid of orcas because
I think I would be afraid of orcas if they were coming up by my canoe up in Alaska or whatever. And be like, holy shit. Hope they don't think I'm a bobber. Hope they don't think I'm a big lure.
Because what do they call a guy floating in the ocean? No legs, no arms?
Bobber. I don't know. So, a penny for your thoughts.
You got one. All right. My thought is...
Yeah, I'm ready.
We need to ask the chat a question. Are they vaping on regulated or unregulated? Put it in the chat.
This is your thought for the day.
Yeah. And my thought was to find out what everybody's vaping on. Regulated or non-regulated. You don't have to put brands. Don't have to say what you're vaping on.
Rager Mac.
Regulated or unregulated.
Rager Mac. Macareg.
I'm vaping on this unregulated and this unregulated.
I guess I'm vaping on both because I have a regulated.
Yeah.
And an unregulated. In here, I'm vaping. Not from concentrate.
That's good stuff.
Today.
Yeah, bottle steeping.
I have it all set.
I also was vaping on some of this Deep Cuts Psycho Crawler.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I also have it in stand-up 3D stand, which is nice because then it keeps it from tipping over.
Mechs tend to do that. All right, we got some regulated, we got both, we got mechs. All right.
Whatever you're vaping on, it's a good thing that you're vaping.
Yeah. You know what you're not doing?
So that was the title of the show tonight, the big question. The title of the show was The Real Reasons Vaping Works for Quitting Smoking. So let's hear your number one reason.
My number one reason?
Yeah, why do you think the real reason is that vaping works to quit smoking?
My number one reason is it makes my wife happy.
That's a good reason.
I don't smell.
Hey, wait, that's two.
I don't hide anything anymore.
That's three reasons. Back up. We're doing one reason at a time.
Okay.
All right, my number one reason is because of flavors. I think that the reason it works is because of flavors. Because we have this wide, wonderful plethora of varying flavors to experience. That's why. Number two, I think that probably a big reason is because it simulates the oral fixation.
Oral fixation.
The oral fixation of smoking. Right? Because you get used to doing this forever, and obviously you have nicotine and other crap in cigarettes that keep you addicted to them.
So we went from this to now we go like this.
Correct. But you're still blowing like steam. You know, similar. Still inhaling things. I
would say my number two reason is I still get the stress reducer off of it. When I had a stressful day when I was smoking, I couldn't wait to get outside and have that first drag. That's all I needed, and the world was right. Now I got this.
Right. Something different about vaping though is like when I was smoking, I was one of those guys that first thing in the morning, you know, didn't matter if it was 20 below out. It's like, oh, I gotta have a puff, you know. Even before the coffee was done brewing, it was like, and with vaping, I can get up and do shit for several hours without, you know, go, oh yeah, well maybe I'm settled in, I'll have a vape. You know, and sometimes I do vape with my morning coffee or whatever, but it's not like, I just remember that was a thing with me, like, as soon as you wake up, it's like, oh, maybe it's because I haven't had a cigarette in 8 hours. You know, I don't know, maybe that was the thing.
That's same with me. I get up and I get down here, get logged into work, check the email first, and once I have that first lull of what I'm doing, then I'm like, oh yeah, there's a mod on my desk. I'm gonna vape it. You know, it's one of those things where more often that I'll be involved in what I need to get done, than be handcuffed to the nicotine in my mod. Once I start picking it up, you know, it's
Right.
game over. I'm hitting it like crazy. I still have that need that vape before bed. Just like that last cigarette before bed. I still
Okay.
a set tradition.
I guess that I would say that is that I vape quite a bit during the day when I'm around the house and stuff. But I have noticed, like, if I go out, a lot of times, there's been times where I just forget to bring them on, you know? And it's like, oh, it's no big deal. So, I don't know if other people feel like that or they feel like they...
That's becoming more and more common for me. Like, I'll run to the grocery store or I'll run to Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even... If I hop in the car and I don't have the mod, I'm fine with it. Go through it, run the errands, come back.
Exactly. Like,
I know where it's at.
I mean, I do take mods with me a lot of times, but there's been occasions where that's the difference between smoking and vaping, to me, is one of the reasons anyway, is because you never went anywhere without your cigarettes, right? They were like a security blanket. And if you were running low, you'd start stressing out on like, oh shit, I only got 3, and I got the whole rest of the day to go, and you know, or heaven forbid if you were out, you know.
Yep.
It's like, didn't matter. If it was 10 o'clock at night, you're like, oh shit, I gotta put my snow boots on and shovel the walk and get in the car just to go get a pack of cigarettes. So that's a benefit.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else out there feels like that, but you know, sometimes when I head out, like I head out of the house and I get in the car and then I realize that I forgot my mod. It's not a lot. Half the time I'm not like, oh shit, I better go get it. You know, I'm just like, fuck, I'm only gonna be gone a couple hours. I just wait till I get back.
True.
So,
You know, and most of the time it's like I'm upstairs and the wife's like, we gotta run and go here. Okay. And I may have left all my mods down here because I thought I was gonna come back down. And all right, let's go. And it's not even a thought. You know, yeah, if we're going to Des Moines, like 2-hour trip or something, I'll make sure I got this.
right.
I got my batteries. I got this. Something that I'm planning on. But most of the time, you hop in the car and the door to the house is only 30 feet away. You could totally go in and grab one, but not a big deal.
Exactly. Like if I was going on a fishing trip or a camping trip or something, it'd be like, oh, you know, then it would be a crisis if I didn't bring my shit with me, probably. But just I've noticed that it's not as big a deal. Like I can go a few hours or whatever, and not really have a worry or care about it, which is different than when I was smoking, for sure. I
agree with Matt Williams out there. He said walk 7 miles uphill both ways to get Marlboro Reds. Exactly. Back when I was smoking, if the car didn't want to start, I'd walk to that gas station to go get them. Because it was more important for me to go get cigarettes than see why my car wouldn't start at the time.
Right. Well, and who's ever been in the situation where you're like dead broke for some reason and you're like, oh shit, it's really time to dig in the couch cushions. You know, it's like I'm going to be scraping. You do just about anything, you know. It's like, I know I got those $2 bills that Grandma gave me that I've been holding on to for all these years, but fuck it, I'm just going to spend them. You know?
And I'm only going to get those basic cigarettes, you know, the one that tastes like they're
I never
sawdust.
I never was into basics. I couldn't handle that shit. It's like, I don't care. That was like smoking floor sweepings.
Yep.
Nasty. So another reason that I think that vaping is an effective way to go through your smoking cessation. Well, first of all, you have to want to quit, right?
Sure.
And I think that one of the reasons why it's so effective is that most people that have been wanting to quit have tried everything else. You know, they've tried gum, they've tried patches, you know, they've tried cold turkey. You know, in my case, maybe even you were successful at one time. Like, I can remember, I think the most effective way that I ever quit smoking was when I quit cold turkey. And I went, I don't know, probably a year without smoking. And then some major catastrophe happened and I had one cigarette, and the next day I was buying a pack. So that always made me feel like alcoholic or something, like to the point where if I had one cigarette, I could be right back to where I started, you know?
Yep.
And obviously, since I've been vaping, I haven't had any of those stressors as far, you know, I've gotten to the point after 4 years, I've been not smoking for coming on 4 years now that, you know, it's nice to be finally free. You don't have to think about cigarettes anymore.
Yep.
So.
You don't have to, you know, going back to what you were saying about having 3, you didn't have to schedule stuff around when you got done with those 3, what you were going to do, or when you got done with 2, because you know you were going to hop in the car and you had to have that one in the car to go to the gas station or the smoke shop or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, yes, it is all willpower, but I think it's willpower light because you have such good things that you
Right.
can put in front of you. Like you said, with the flavors, your willpower is aided by things that will distract you from going and buying that pack of cigarettes or what have you. And if you give it enough time and you focus on what you want to have, yeah, it's like anything else in life. If you have a goal, you have to want to reach that goal to do it.
The other thing is you know, the time that I did quit cold turkey was just miserable. I mean, I went through having to use major amounts of willpower for probably 30, 45 days, you know.
Yeah.
And it was doable, but it wasn't easy. Whereas vaping, you know, I was one of the people that dual used for a while and eventually found, you know, a system that was effective for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I found that, then I got into it more and more, and then it was just like, I don't even really remember the transition. It wasn't like a aha moment like some people have. I just gradually, you know, it was like, shit, I'm done with these. You know, and it felt great.
Mine was one of those, I think what you're calling an aha moment, because I was having that morning and nighttime smoke, those 2 ritual times, and then I would vape throughout the day, and it was satisfying during the day, but I had to have that bedtime smoke and that first in the morning smoke while the coffee was brewing. And one morning while the coffee was brewing, that cigarette tasted like shit. I said, yep, done. Walked over to my trash can and threw those away and went back inside for that cheesecake.
Brings me to another reason why I believe that vaping is such an effective way to quit smoking, and that is once you have transitioned fully and you're just vaping for even a short time, like a week or 2, you start to feel better.
Yep.
So once you start to feel better, you're like, you know, this is awesome.
Okay.
You know, would you concur on that one?
I would totally concur. You're not coughing right before bed. You're not coughing when you wake up. You're not out of breath when. You know, I'm a big guy, and if I'm out of breath trying to mow the lawn, now no out of breath. We're moving around. it's actually aided to lowering my blood sugars and helping with some weight loss. And my doctors listen to my lungs. They don't hear the rattle anymore, and they just keep telling me, do what you're doing. They know that I'm vaping, but they can't sign off on it.
Yeah.
But do what you're doing. It's working. So you feel better, you smell better, you taste better.
Yeah, that's another good point is that once you're off of cigarettes, whether you quit cold turkey or whether you use vaping, your sense of smell comes back, which has a big lot to do with your sense of taste. You start tasting foods again. You start smelling flowers or whatever you're smelling. It's not always what you're smelling is not always a good thing, but
I will say there is a downside to that.
yeah.
The only downside to that is I used to be able to walk in and do all of these super hot wing challenges.
Right.
Because my taste buds were so gone
Right.
that I could, eat a dozen wings of their super ghost pepper whatever and not have to have a drink or anything because my taste buds didn't feel it. Just watch that you don't rub your eyes when you're doing it.
Right.
But now, with heightened sense of taste, you taste every Scoville unit of that ghost pepper hot wing. So
yeah, I still love hot food. I just have always had a propensity towards it.
yeah.
So, but I would agree with you when I was smoking I could probably do the same thing you would do. I could down copious amounts of this stuff without, breaking a sweat.
Yep.
Or you get that little bead of sweat right under your eyelids.
Yep.
Then you know it's hot.
My eyes are sweating.
Or have you ever had hot peppers to where you're like going, then you know it's hot too. I think there's a limit to the enjoyability of hot stuff too. Like when you're at that point where you're at 1,000,000 Scoville units or whatever, it's not really that pleasurable. It's not that tasty.
Yeah.
Then you're just like doing it for the glory of the fact that you ingested this stuff.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the mid-range of hot is a lot better, in my opinion, for enjoying your food.
Well, it's like right now, I don't go for those hot challenge anymore. I could really hit like an ice cream challenge. Like a giant bowl and see if you could do that.
Yeah, I've been really good with my keto diet, so that's another thing I've been putting all of the bad things. I've just kind of put them out of my mind now. So I try not to think about ice cream and things that I used to enjoy because I know that I can't have them if I want to continue.
Now, Drop Bear out here is making a good point. He still dual uses, and he makes no bones about it. He'll tell you that he dual uses. His smoking is reduced big time, but what turns him off is the vaping is holier than thou vapors who look down on him. It just bugs him. True, but I'm at the fact that you have a freedom of doing whatever you want. If you want to smoke, smoke. If you want to vape, vape. If you want to dual use so you can reduce the harm, then every cigarette you're not putting in your mouth is a good step down. So I would never look down on somebody trying to bring in the healthy aspect to it. Do what you need to do. You all know your limits.
Which brings us back to what we spoke about earlier. You have to want to quit. If you don't want to quit, nothing's going to work. Patches won't work, gum won't work, Chantix won't work. You have to have some part of you that is like, I really want to quit. I just can't. And then, so that's why I think so many people dual use. when they're trying to quit, because they've had a lifelong addiction, and it's not easy. But I think that vaping is the easiest way. It makes the transition so you're not going nuts in between. I mean, I remember trying gum and patches, and that shit didn't work. I ended up smoking while I was on the patch, and, you know, getting horrible nick sick from it, you know, because it was like, it still wasn't cutting it, even though you had all this nicotine in your system. I also, that brings up another point. I mean, how we've, you know, like when I first started vaping, I was at 18 milligram, and I went directly to 6, you know, once I had gone completely off cigarettes, and within a couple months I was at 3, you know, and I'm still at 0 or 3 depending on what I'm doing. But you know, when I do my mixing and stuff like that, I mix everything at 0, because I want to be able to taste what it tastes like, you know. And then at the very last thing I do when I have a mix that I'm enjoying is possibly nick it up to 3 milligram, you know.
I'm right around there. Everything that I mix up is at 2. 3 if I'm having a real bad day. I get enough stuff for a review that's 3. So if I need to step it up to that, I can. 6 is too harsh for me. I get a hell of a throw hit on 6 milligrams, so I just don't do it anymore. I'm sure I could get used to it and enjoy 6, but the 2 keeps me focused. I tried 0 for a while, and without the nicotine, I was a little scatterbrained. So that 2 milligram helps me keep focused while I'm working. Helps me think straight. Everything. It's kind of like caffeine. I can't cut out the caffeine either.
Right.
So
I'm craving coffee right now. When we're done, I'm gonna go make some.
Nice.
But what about pods? What do you think about pods? Because I'll share mine first, you know, because obviously the little pod systems and Nick Salt, that type of thing, has become rather popular over the last year. And for me, you know, I have a couple of them, but I don't use them on a regular basis. I just found that, you know, they're not, they just don't do it for me. They're handy to have, like if you need to be in a stealth vape situation or whatever, but even then, I carb hit it or halfway lung hit them. For some reason, I can no longer do mouth to lung myself. If I try to vape with a mouth to lung device, it chokes me. And I don't know. I'm just curious if anybody else has that reaction, or if you can still do it either way or whatever.
I can still mouth to lung. Pod systems are really tight addies. I don't use the nicotine salts. I just can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I've ever tried is either 50 or 30 milligram is just way too much. You know,
Right.
If I'm vaping 2 milligram all the time, sometimes 3, it 50 and 30 milligram, I don't even care if it's a smooth salt, it's not going to be right for me. So
Well,
that's
and
why I don't do it.
that could be what's choking me as well.
Yeah.
Is that high Nick? You know, I don't know that it's if maybe I should try mouth to lunging 0 or 3 Nick and see if it still chokes me. But I've noticed that, you know, you put these 35 and 50 milligram Nick salts in those pods, and it's just like too much for me now.
Yeah. What I usually put in, like I've done the Infinex, I've done the Rock by Boulder. Those both can handle regular e-liquid. So I grab something that's not as max VG as you want. You don't want to run 90-10 in it, but like not from concentrate is 72-28. It's a little bit thinner. It'll work. It works great in the rock. I haven't had any issues in the Infinex pods. They all have their place, but still, even with those, it's 2 milligram strength. And I think in the times where I need a stealth vape, it's more mental than the actual nicotine at that moment.
Right. I would agree. I don't enjoy when I have an Infinix and I fill it with 3 milligram, and you know, as long as you're using like a 70-30 or 60-40, something like that, you're gonna be fine with it.
Yeah.
But I still lung hit that thing, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
Infinex, I'm pulling it straight to the lungs.
yeah.
It's restricted lung, but still,
Right.
that's how I vape. So that's what I use it for. And I like them because if I am going somewhere where I know I'm only going to have a couple times to maybe go outside at, say, in-laws' house or something like that, it's nice. Kids aren't seeing huge clouds coming out. I can hide it. Um,
Well, that's one thing to be said about those devices is they're definitely less obtrusive. Like, you
yep.
know, you don't get the weird looks that you get when you're out in public with even something like this. You know, they're like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Well, you go. I'm gonna step out and have a vape.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
we think that's normal, but I don't think that the general population is like, "What the hell?"
They're like, you gonna start a car with that?
Right.
You vape inside the car?
And then you got this giant plume coming off your head. And
Yeah.
so beware.
You make that one mistake of blowing bubbles. Kids are out there blowing bubbles, and you help them blow a bubble by putting vape in there.
Yeah.
They want to see it every time.
Don't do that. We don't need to be accused of trying to get kids to vape because you were blowing vape in their bubbles.
Yeah. But no, yeah, all of these are great reasons on why they work. It's finding what works for you. And unfortunately, if people are in a situation where they don't have a vape shop where they can see a couple devices, they don't know about YouTube yet, or they don't know about any of the communities about vaping yet, sometimes they're not gonna find the device that works for them, and that's where sometimes it does not work.
Right.
Like the few devices I used before I discovered YouTube reviews, they sucked. They worked for maybe a week, and I was done. There was that throat hit. There was that coughing all the time. There was the battery wouldn't last more than a half hour or something like that, and I was done trying it again and found some stuff. Found people explaining that the coughing is kind of normal when you're starting, and what devices are better than the devices that you have. That made a world of difference.
For me, I remember back. I mean, nothing. It really wasn't working for me all that well. Partially because I hadn't discovered any good e-liquids like Adore e-liquid. You know, I was vaping stuff from the local vape stores that they're making in the back of the house, and I was using CE4 tanks and things like that, and it just wasn't cutting it. Where it really turned for me is when I got my first rebuildable. You know, I had a 30-watt DNA mod, and as soon as I got my first RDA and started putting my own coils in, even though they were just simple coils,
Yep.
that was when it really took off for me.
Yep.
It changed everything. And then the fact of finally being turned on to better e-liquids.
Yep.
So
I remember sampling at a local shop, and of course, all the samples are at 0. And you know, you're getting a little bit of throat hit. I think it was Cosmic Fog back when they were strictly a 50-50 e-liquid. You get a little bit of the throat hit from it, but you were used to that because of the crap juice that came with your device.
Mm.
And then you left the store with 6 milligram. And I got into the car and filled up the tank, and it was even worse. So it's like, it not knowing that there was 70-30 out there, not
Right.
knowing that maybe you could use 70-30 and
Well,
maybe 3 milligram might be better because you're getting a sensitivity to that throat hit.
I actually have friends that still smoke. And, the old adage that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink is very true. Number one, they have to want to quit. Number two, they have to be willing to, like, work through the part. Like, I wanted to quit bad enough, I think, that I worked through that initial stage where it was like, this sucks. This ain't working for me, I kept at it, and then I got lucky and found something that was effective for me. But I do have friends that still smoke, and they're like, oh, I tried vaping, it chokes me, which is a common thing that happens when people first attempt.
Yeah, and I think a good piece of advice for when you come across those people that are still smoking and they've tried and they tell you, instead of like ramming it down their throat that no, vaping's better, you just had a wrong device, let me do this, is maybe ask them and say, hey, what were you using? What e-liquid were you trying? Do you mind if I give you something to try out? Are you willing to that? And if they're not willing, you gotta respect that they're smoking. They have the same rights as we do, and if they want to smoke, they can smoke.
The trouble is that they're your friends, right? So it's like, hey, I got this thing, I want to turn it on to you, and if they make fun of you or they're not into it and it didn't work, it's not working for them, it puts you in kind of a bad situation, because the goal is that you want your friends alive and you want them sticking around, and that you were where they were at a certain point, so you just got to keep trying. If you do have close friends that are not receptive to it, gift them some hardware, and say, I know you tried this already, but here, this is better, and give this a shot. And then they'll probably go, that didn't work either, and just keep trying. If it's somebody that you care about, don't shove it down their throat like you said, Lifa, but there's nothing wrong with continuing to try and to encourage them.
Yep. Just remind them that you're there to help if they want to.
All right. Well, I think that we had a good conversation here this evening. And thank you for joining me on our Fog Life number 54. And want to encourage everybody that's watching this show to go over to Fresh's channel in a half an hour and join us over there. Do you have any final words?
No, same thing. We'll be over on Fresh's show, so join us over there. We'll do all of our crazy shout outs over there at the end. That way you don't have to hear 8 million times on who we support. We'll just do it one time over there. But thanks for everybody in chat. Thanks for everybody that showed up for my pop-up vape break earlier this week. It was great seeing who would show up just on notification. Look forward to it more and more once school starts. This week I had no kids, so I was able to do it. But outside of that, I think we did a good job covering a good topic here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's finish out. We want to just vape our way out of here?
Sounds good.
Here we go. The same way we came in. Cheers.
up your butt.
Horse shit.
Fucking genius.